Okay. All right. Is anyone else turned up? Seem to be okay. All right. I'm going to share the screen briefly. So the webcams have gone to the right, so you can click on the 3x3 little dots and that'll expand them, and then you can drag it so you can actually see everybody, okay? All right, so. Okay, let's go. So I'm Nicolas David Ngan of the Centre for Conscious Ascension. Apologies for being late, it just the day got crammed. So we're going to do a special webinar today. Given what's going on in the world, I thought I'd run another one of these. And this is about helping the world with that special gift of service hidden within your soul, which we all find a challenge as light workers to unblock things emotionally to actually manifest it in the world. So you can deliver your gift of service. But what we're going to especially focus on today is how to create a more unified sort of world, really. That's what we're going to do, okay? So it's the only way forward. There's been a lot going on in the world, some pretty unpleasant stuff, a lot of darkness showing itself, and our role as light workers is to bring the light. It's a step above the polarized conflict that we see at many levels in the world, and to bring in a higher frequency of unity, which is how we transform all that we see. Because what's happening is that to play a game of separation from spirit, which is what we're in here, we need to have points of darkness. We have to energies which hold us as separate from God as possible, so that we can then have this experience of being separate in consciousness and then return home to Great Spirit, God, all that is. And what's happening is that these points of darkness are being dissolved and being exposed, and light and consciousness is being brought to them so we can get home. And so as part of that process, the webinar is here to help take us back home through focus on unity here. And so that'll bring up a lot of stuff for all of us. We were sort of going on quite nicely up to 2019, and then the world went crazy. So it's about focusing on what we collectively want to create in terms of a better world. So I'd like to hear from a few you guys, what brought you here, now to laid out the theme, and what your intention is here. Just where you are, just your intention, because we're going to collectively do this. This is all of us working together. And the guys who aren't actually on the video, you can put it in the chat, or just turn the sound on and talk to me. But I'd like to hear what you want to bring to the table here, because then that'll collectively create today's experience, because every one of these is a little different. Okay. So who wants to go first? You don't have to talk if you don't want to, but if you're brave enough to show your face, I'm sure you want to say something. And there are some familiar faces here who I'm sure will step up. Okay. Who wants to go first? Suzanne, you're always chatty. Go on.
Hi. So, yeah, just bringing more unity, what you were saying earlier, and focusing on things for people to work towards, rather than just looking at all the things that are a bit more gloomy, if you like.
Yeah.
We know the what and the whys now.
We know what's going on, that's for sure.
We know what's going on, and we need to keep an eye on that a bit, but not necessarily being deep in the rabbit holes anymore.
Yeah.
And focusing on how we can work with people now to change their consciousness of where we're headed, create a better space for everybody to move into.
Yeah. That's why we were born. That's why we came. We came for this moment.
Yeah.
In the ascension process.
So the focus to shift on the how, and let's get on with it, really, for me. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Because collectively, we have the greatest power in the world if we all work together. And even if that's just the 2 to 3% of the population, which is the light workers, which is a couple of 100 million of us, if we all collectively decide where we want to go, that's what's going to happen. Because the greatest power in the world is our collective focus and manifestation power, which has been hidden from us. That's the thing that the less conscious forces in the world are most scared of, what we can collectively do, which is why I'm doing this. Okay, so individually it's much harder, but collectively it's more enormously powerful. So it's a matter of, well, what do you want to create? Because each of us is the spark of the creator. We just forgot. That's the other big secret that's hidden from us. So that creative power in us is the key to transforming all the stuff that seems real in front of you, but actually it's just more part of the illusion, the mire of this reality. So this is about learning how to change that more consciously. Okay. Who else wants to
staying out of that fear program that kind of sucks everybody in. It's
we're moving out of the low frequency fear, because when you move into love and connection, that's at a much higher frequency, and that will transmute all fear, all of it. It just naturally will do it. Okay, so this is the big game that's going on here. Okay. All right, who wants to go next? You're Maria Ringblom today, are you? You're Maria Ringblom.
Yeah, that's my married name.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, Nicolas. Hi, everybody. So I'm here to clear like the last blocks to my creativity, because I know of a past life where my hands were tied with dip ties, and since a month the signs have been showing through my hands. And I noticed when I listened to our previous sessions, Divine Healing, even replays, I noticed the warmth coming back to my hands, and also very powerful tingling. So yeah, it's the reason why my hands were tied up was to stop me from being creative. And of course, I want to unleash my creativity and to help create different world.
Okay.
And help people also to get rid of fear and open up to their spirituality, they really are, through doing readings in soul contract and writing my book.
Okay, cool.
And through animals.
Okay, so yeah, I walked into the supermarket the other weekend and without a mask, and then I also walked on the train without a mask as well, and it was the most freeing experience of all. And then I realized how strong the fear programming is, and it just was a major breakthrough, and I shifted into a different reality. So the idea of today is to release any of the fear that's naturally programmed into us. It's what keeps us alive. To shift to the state of we are creators of our reality. And if we're at the higher frequency space collectively, that transmutes all the darkness, all the unconsciousness in the world, because higher consciousness always transmutes lower consciousness. Okay, so the higher the frequency you carry, the more protected you are and the more transformative your effect on the world is. Okay, if enough critical mass of us reaches that place, this whole thing just goes away, which it will anyway. It'll just disappear. It will just disappear. So every planet that ascends goes through this. So what's happening here is not an accident. Darkness comes up, so light has to push through it. We must have this pressure in order to get back to God. It's normal. So nothing's gone wrong. This is normal. Every planetary civilization breaks through this at a certain stage when it's going to rise in consciousness, rise out of polarity, get back into unity. So it's a known process that we're going through. Just gotta bear with it, keep yourself safe, and just focus on the best outcome. Who wants to go next? I reckon recognize some of you guys from Facebook and stuff. It's nice to see you in person. So, Zana.
Hello again, Nicolas, and hello everybody. So I am here because I just have been realizing a lot lately that how the importance of embodying the shift and the light frequency that we all have, how important it is to really embody that in this time. It was really just, I was really reminded of it this morning. I went into a business office, and you know, the energy in the office and the energy with the lady that I was working with was so cold. She's standing back like I'm radioactive or something. And so I really feel like it's for myself, what I really, it's been calling me for a while, but it's really very obvious now that it's the importance of really embodying the and living and being the example of the kind of the light that we're going to be moving into right now, and not be consumed by the darkness and the heaviness and the coldness that is out there right now. And yeah, it's just learning the tools to it's going to really help people the most that we can, with our own gifts and our own energy. And just you know, like for me, I'm not seeing the world as this dark, heavy, you know, crazy place. Like I'm just living. I'm enjoying my life. I'm enjoying where I'm at right now. And when I see people like this lady today, it's like, it's kind of sad that they're in places like that. And yeah, just to me, sort of my first response to that was like, well, I'm going to be extra nice and extra kind to really balance out this coldness and this lack of humanity that I'm feeling here everywhere. So yeah, anyway, I'm taking the course next week. So just wanted to be a part of this as much as possible because I love this. You're muted, Nicolas.
Yeah, thanks, Anna. Who wants to share why they're here a bit more? You can put it in the chat as well if you want. So
I'll share.
okay, Joel. Hi.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi. So I had a reading done last week.
Yeah.
I was actually introduced to this work about 6 years ago, and I stepped away, and now I've rejoined, so to speak. I'm in a transitionary period in my career. I'm looking to really step into what I'm here to do. I was in a career that wasn't very fulfilling, and that I'm thinking about the training. I don't know if there's still space next week, but I'm certainly considering that as part of my work with people. And so, yeah, I just wanted to come in and get some more experience, so to speak, in feeling into this work. And there is a lot of fear out there, and I think this is a perfect time for me to really step into what it is I'm here to do, and connecting with people and helping them really accept themselves and step into their power. So I'm really happy to be here.
Okay, welcome. Yeah, Joel's talking about the soul contract reading training, which is starting next week on, what is it, the 17th to the 21st. There are 1 or 2 places left if you're interested. So, okay. Yeah, I think fear's the big thing. I was terrified for the first few months of last year, but I feel like Zana, just quite relaxed, really, living in my own bubble of energy rather than being affected by what's going on out there. So it's really important to be in your own energy. Anyone else want to share or put on the chat, introduce yourselves? Okay, Lavinia.
Hello, everyone. It's just nice to be here in this group and share light. And my feeling is really to help people achieve their best awakening at this time and to have that inner strength.
Okay, thank you. Just wanted to sound check, is my microphone okay? Does it sound clear? Yeah, because someone's had a problem. Just thought it might have been my end, but I think it's theirs. Okay. Anyone else? Someone says hello from Montreal. I can't quite see who it is. It's not showing me. Okay. Anyone else? No? Okay, we'll get into the process then. Oh, Patricia, you want to talk? You need to unmute. Yeah.
Hi,
That's it.
Nicolas.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm here because I just want to connect with other like-minded people and just feel the support and the higher vibration. It just helps me to stay strong, especially around my family members who are have been so brainwashed that they're cheering, taking the vaccine and wearing, you know, and
Yeah,
all into the mask wearing
don't
thing.
use that word again, Patricia, because otherwise YouTube could censor us. We not allow the video to load. Okay.
Oh,
You have to be careful the language you use, because the AI listens to everything before
that's right.
it lets you upload. Okay?
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Say
So,
the B word or something like that.
right. So I just want to be connected stay connected with people who are ascending and holding space for all the others who are in the dark areas. And hopefully I want to find out how I can help others. And I think for me, it's a one-on-one type of thing. Whoever I come in contact with, I can be supportive. I think that's my main thing, is just being supportive of others wherever they are.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
So thank you for having this, Nicolas. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I run these when I feel the urge. So, okay. Thank you, Patricia. You're up very late. No, you're up early.
I'm up early.
You're up early in Hawaii, trying to figure out the time difference. Yeah.
I'm in Oregon.
Oh, you're in Oregon now. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else want to share before we get into it? On the chat or not? Okay. I will start. I'm going to share the screen again. So, all right, if it will let me. Whoops. We can put up the presentation here. Right. So, basically the key here is to remember that we're all connected, and around the earth at the interface between the atmosphere and space is the Christ consciousness grid made up of sacred geometry. This is sort of a representation of it. Okay. It's actually a bit more geometric than like this, but this is the closest I could get with a flower of life. And all humans are connected to it. Every species has a grid, a morphogenetic grid that connects it. So you are in consciousness connected to every other human on Earth, or 8 billion or however many of us there are. So if a critical mass of humans shifts consciousness into unity and love, that impacts every other person on the Earth. Okay, so the idea of this is that a small number of people running at high frequency can create great change, which is what we're going to do today. Okay, so, well, how are we going to do that? Let's talk about that. So, we're going to undertake a meditation of oneness, so you can access your multidimensional selves. And so, how many of you guys have seen the movie The Matrix? Put your hand up. Seen the movie The Matrix? Okay, so we are in the Matrix here, and this is like a three-dimensional hologram projection of consciousness, which is created by us collectively and individually. So nothing here is actually ultimately real. It's just a projection of consciousness for us to have a specific experience of life. So now that you're aware of it, or most of you are probably already aware of it, if we change the programming in the collective and in us individually, we can change what's happening out in the matrix. We can't change it by acting directly on elements that we perceive in the matrix, but we can change it by moving from where we are in the third dimension. This is the densified physical reality that our souls are embodied into these earth suits or avatars to have a very intense emotional experience. We can access the multidimensional parts of ourselves, which is all the other parts here, which are in all these higher dimensions, all the way up to the 12th dimension, which is Source or Great Spirit. We can access that by opening a pathway up to it and feel at one with all that. We can then bring from, when we feel we are one with everything, we can bring that from that oneness, anything that's in divine order for us to bring to earth. So we can project this energy back down here and manifest change. This is actually how you manifest pretty much anything. And if it's meant to be in divine, if it's meant to happen and it's in divine order for you, it will turn up. So what is in divine order for humanity is that we graciously ascend in consciousness through the dimensions. Because Great Spirit, in the creation of this universe, undertook an outbreath of its consciousness from the 12th dimension, and it densified it all the way through the dimensions until it got denser and denser till it got to us. Little sparks of the divine in us, and it forgot this is where we come from. So we feel we're these small, limited human beings, and this is all there is. So we're in the process of rolling up this game of separation from the Spirit. And you'd ask, well, why does Source, Great Spirit, do this? Because it wants to have an experience of knowing all parts of itself. And it does that by having parts of itself embody and forget who they are and seek that special thing we're here to do in life, that thing we search for that no one could tell us when we're younger because no one knew. And we're actually seeking to align with our soul and shift back in consciousness to Source. And we do that by clearing our ego, helping others, in our case as light workers, delivering our gifts of service so they can wake up as well. So the clearer you are in the ego construct down here, and the more connected you are to Source, the easier it is to manifest all the good stuff in life. Okay, so we're basically going to, with this meditation, connect with all of this and then cool down unity and love, or whatever else you feel like cooling down, okay? And at the same time, we are going to clear within us the fears and low frequency emotions that we carry as a race, okay, collectively, so that we can transform this reality. So what we as humans get up to? Well, who are we really? We mainly focus on all the things which are challenging us, these little red dots. That's what we focus on most of the time. We focus on the stuff that's not working in our lives, our karma. But we're much greater than our karma. We pay attention to the karma because that's the challenge. That's what's drawing our attention. But we are much more. We are all our past, present, and future lives at many different dimensional levels across time and space. And our ego focuses on all the stuff which is not working. And because of the law of attraction, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with, we're steering into our navel all the time. So the idea here is to pull back from our heads out of our navel. My head was in my navel for most of my life. That was pointed out to me by our mirror, who I used to work with, who formed the Center for Conscious Ascension with me. That's what I've been doing. I hadn't realized my head was getting dusty, sitting in my navel all the time. So once I pulled it out, I realized I can pull away from just looking at this stuff here. I can pull away and look at all the good stuff, all the positive qualities in me, and focus on what I wish to create in life, not focus on what I don't like, because I was just getting more of it. In fact, I realized I was creating about twice as much karmic stuff to deal with, because that's all my focus was on. I was trying to heal, fix, and save myself. So I started focusing on manifesting my purpose, my soul purpose here. Okay, but we're going to focus on manifesting unity today. specifically. Okay. Oops. So how do we do that? Okay. Just briefly, we're going to peel our ego onions. Our soul creates this ego, this filter around us. So we perceive the reality in it through a specific ego filter, so that and it creates specific lessons according to our soul contract, which Joel had mentioned. So we have specific experiences. So we as a spark of the divine can learn in certain ways, and we learn the most by being in body because it's so intense. When we're out of a body, up on, say, the astral plane here, and here, it's nowhere near as intense. So this is why we're keen to come into these bodies. So the way we change these patterns, for example, the fear that some of you have talked about, is that we need our willingness and desire and courage here. Oops, I've got to get my pen right here. We take our willingness, desire, and courage here. We focus our conscious awareness, bring feeling consciousness to the issue. Say this is a big red dot of fear in our system. And the blue here is bring feeling consciousness to it. And the more we breathe and spread our feeling consciousness through that, the fear, okay, the more it will transform into love. Because that's what the soul wants to do. It wants to feel the fear, transform it, and then move on. But what happens here is that the ego is not so keen on us clearing its programs. It wants to keep us separate from Great Spirit, to play this game of separation for as long as possible. So it goes and puts up this energy, turquoise energy of being numbed out, so we can't feel the fear. Because we can't feel the fear, we can't transform it. Because if you can't feel it, you can't heal it, because you can't bring feeling consciousness to it. So what we're going to do, whoops, it's jumping around a bit today, is that we're going to use divine healing, which is based on asking your soul receive, to burn through the outer defense mechanism of the ego, the emotional ice, to bring it into the fears or whatever emotions you're feeling here. Okay? And then those layers will dissolve. So what I'm going to teach you now is the manifestation process that I use to create the things I desire in my life. It works most of the time. Okay? If it's in divine order, usually some things don't turn up because the timing is not right. And so what we're going to do is that we're going to center in the heart space, and we're going to create a unified chakra, which is basically, we're going to breathe light from our heart in a ball all the way through our chakras, all the way out to the 14th chakra, all the way below our feet. And we're going to connect to all that is. We're going to connect to this guy here. We're going to connect to the oneness of everything and feel that we're connected to that. Then we're going to use sounds of God to actually start to invoke that oneness to manifest whatever we desire. And in this case, focusing on manifesting a unified and loving world is the key. If we all do it together, it's much more powerful. There's 14 of us doing this. But that in turn will bring up programs in our ego, which doesn't want us to do this. It doesn't want to have unity, because it believes if it connects to source, it'll die, it'll be annihilated. But actually it just gets absorbed back into the oneness because it's scared of its own death. Okay, not physical death, it's emotional death. So in focusing on bringing oneness into the world, it will trigger programs in you. And we're doing this deliberately. So when those programs come up, we're going to clear it with divine healing. Okay, we're going to align with the higher self, and that will actually clear a huge amount of programming. Okay, which will make it easier to connect to oneness. Okay. So I'd like you each to get clear in your mind, be clear intent of what you wish to create in the world, but on the basis of what we're doing. Just come up with your own unique vision or feeling of what you wish to create. Okay, just I'll give you a few minutes to do that. All right. And then when you close your eyes and sense where your soul, what your soul wants to do with this, because you've come together collectively for this. And write it down if you like. Okay. I'll just stop sharing while you do that. And I want you to really feel this, okay? Feel that vision of how you see the world unified, how you see the world full of love and peace, whatever it is for you. Take that into your heart and feel it, okay? Just feel what's that like as if it's already done. And don't worry about how we're going to get there from here, however here is for you at the moment. That's the key to manifestation, as if it's already done and you let the universe figure out, because it's much more conscious and intelligent than we can ever be in these bodies, how to create that reality. Your job as a spark of the creator is to say, I command this to happen, because it's in divine order for me. Okay. I'll share the screen again. So it's important to have no negatives, because the universe doesn't recognize negatives. You say no this or no that to something, then it'll turn up. So it's just got to be a positive manifestation of the state of being you want in the world. And be aware of all the ego chatter, the mind talk, any resistance the ego has to this. Just acknowledge it, but don't do anything about it. Just let it pass, and past your consciousness, or just pass by. And now what we're going to do, so we're going to do what's called the unified chakra meditation. We're going to expand our soul energy through all our chakras, way up to source above us and way below our feet. And we're going to connect to all the higher dimensional parts of you, all the way back to source. So I'd like you all to breathe the ultraviolet light of the soul into the center of your heart to create a glowing ball of light. Breathing through your mouth. Breathe the ultraviolet light of the soul into the center of your heart and expand and encompass the throat chakra and the solar plexus, forming one unified field of light within, through, and around your body. Breathe your awareness into the center of the heart and expand and encompass the brow chakra and the navel chakra, forming one unified field of light within, through, and around your body. Breathe your awareness into the center of the heart and expand and encompass the crown chakra and the base chakra, forming one unified field of light within, through, and around your body. Breathe your awareness into the center of the heart. Expand and encompass the alpha chakra, one hand length above the crown and slightly forward. And the omega chakra, one hand length below the base of your spine. And allow the waves of Metatron to vibrate between the alpha and the omega chakras, and to merge with the astral, causal, and electromagnetic bodies to create the kingdom. Breathe your awareness into the center of the heart and expand and encompass the eighth chakra, one hand length directly above the crown, and your upper thighs, forming one unified field of light within, through, and around your body. To allow the emotional body to merge with the physical fields. Breathe your awareness into the center of the heart and expand and encompass the ninth chakra, two hand lengths above your head, the lower thighs, forming one unified field of light within, through, and around your body, and allow the mental body to merge with the physical fields. Breathe your awareness into the center of the heart and expand and encompass the 10th chakra, three hand lengths above the head and the knees, forming one unified field of light within, through, and around your body, and allow the spiritual body to merge with the physical fields to create the throne. Breathe your awareness into the center of the heart and expand and encompass the 11th chakra way above your head and your upper calves, forming one unified field of light within, through, and around your body, and allow the oversoul to merge with the throne. Breathe your awareness into the center of your heart and expand and encompass the 12th chakra way above your head, your lower calves forming one unified field of light within, through, and around your body, and allow the Christ over soul to merge with the throne. Breathe your awareness into the center of the heart and expand and encompass the 13th chakra way above your head and your feet, forming one unified field of light within, through, and around your body, and allow the I am of soul to merge with the throne. Breathe your awareness into the center of the heart and expand and encompass the 14th chakra way above your head and way below your feet, forming one unified field of light within, through, and around your body, and allow Source to merge with the throne. Allow the highest frequencies of your spirit appropriate to this session to radiate from the throne 3 hand lengths above your head, down into your crown chakra, and down into your heart chakra, and to radiate out in all directions into the kingdom. So you're now connected to all the multidimensional parts of yourself. You are now in oneness with all that is. And we can begin the manifestation process. So I've combined this unified chakra with the 9 steps that's in Wayne Dyer's book called Manifest Your Destiny, which he teaches how to manifest. So we're doing a variation on that process, but with some more enhancements. So the first thing we need to do is move our consciousness down to our base chakras at the base of our spine. This is our creative center. So you bring your manifestation down there. That was previously in your heart. Bring the energy down to the base chakra. And so we're going to use our creative energy here. And the first thing we need to do is we need to clear our pranic tube of any blockages. So normally you do this manifestation for 20 minutes at sunrise. And I'll explain how to figure that time out later. Because the shift from dark to light is a time of great creativity. So we're going to use the sound ah, which is one of the sounds of God, to move the energy from the base to the ground. Normally it's about a bit under 7 minutes, but we're going to do it for just a few minutes so you get the feel of it. Okay. And so I'm going to shift our time zone with what's called a command code to sunrise wherever you are. Okay. So we're going to send the energy back in time so you can have maximum power of the sun rising with you. I'll put this on the description of the YouTube video, but basically you just say, Mother, Father, God, time shift to sunrise in this now time, in these locations for everyone participating in this webinar, live and in the future when they watch the YouTube video. So just with pure intention, this will happen. So I want you to switch on your microphones. We're going to do this together. It's more powerful. We can hear each other. Okay, we're going to make the sound ah with our eyes closed. Okay, and we're going to send this energy of your manifestation, whatever that was, for unity and love, however it is for you, as if it's already done, from the as we do that ah sound from the base to our crown to clear the pranic tube. So after me. Feel the children. Just relax now. Just feel that increased flow up the pranic tube. That's the first 7 minutes, so you need to have a countdown timer for this sort of thing when you're doing the meditation yourself. A stopwatch countdown timer is usually better than a phone because you don't have to open your eyes. Now that your pranic tube is clear, you can move the creative energy from your base chakra again up to the crown, but now we're going to send it out the top of the crown back to oneness, to all it is. So this is where we're saying to oneness, I command the manifestation of this, whatever your manifestation is, because remember, you are the spark of the divine, you are God, and you just forgot, and you can command whatever it is from the universe you desire. So we still do the R sound here, but in this time we go from base to crown all the way up to oneness. So we encompass oneness and we send that manifestation out, that feeling, visual, however manifestation, however what the form it's taken for you. Okay, so here we go. This is another approximately 7 minutes, but we'll just do a few minutes. Reach out to oneness. Unity, love, oneness of all it is. Relax. Just feel whatever feelings coming up. I'm feeling sort of happiness and almost teary and some gratitude for creating unity and love in the world. Just feel those positive feelings and the negative ones. Everything else comes up along the way. Everything is welcome. It's about bringing consciousness to all things present in our experience. Now, for the third section of about a little under 7 minutes, we're going to say the R sound, same breathing from the base to the crown out to oneness, but this time it's about connecting with the feeling of gratitude that your manifestation is already done, because gratitude brings a direct connection to source, and that's when magical things happen. So here we go, breathing and making the sound R with gratitude for your manifestation done. Ah. Your heart expands. Just relax now, keeping your eyes closed, feeling the expansion in your heart, feeling that gratitude as you stay connected to the oneness of all that is. And be present, whatever emotionally comes up for you. It's okay, whatever it is. I'm feeling a bit of grief coming up at the moment. So now I'm going to do some divine healing now, just based on asking, you shall receive. I'll be doing it quietly. I want you just to breathe through your mouth and feel what is there. So the first thing we're going to do is that we're going to clear energy interference that comes at the lower level of the astral plane. And this prevents us from connecting to higher consciousness. Okay, and this gets triggered as energy interference when we try to manifest things, especially when we try to move forward, when we try to get back to God. So just be aware of what happens in your body. And the first things we're going to clear are earthbound souls. These are beings who have left a physical body but are attached to you because you're carrying similar issues that they were working on when they were embodied. So just quietly, just feel what happens. Keep breathing in your body. Just be present with whatever's coming up. All things are welcome. Feel the shift as those beings are removed. You thank them for that. You thank the angelics who helped us with that, for their help and assistance with us. Now we're going to release extraterrestrial presences. I don't have to worry about here. I'm always very interested in how we work emotionally, because our range of emotions on Earth is much, much greater than on most planets. So we're going to clear them because they've been observing us. That affects us, affects our life process by having them present. Removing them now. You feel the energy shift, they're gone now. And now we're going to remove all sorts of other interference, discards, entities, and attachments, anyone else who may be hitchhiking on your energy because they want to feed off the negative emotions that you've been carrying, especially any fear you've been carrying in the past year. So you may feel literally things popping out your body. You may go cold. So raise your frequency so that they can't find you again. Okay? Feel extra clarity that may have come to you just then. Now we're going to do a chart called main low frequency programs. Okay, so what I want you to do is to feel whatever's coming up for you, emotional, still. And there could be multiple feelings. Whatever is there is welcome. And just become conscious of how that program or feeling operates in your life. Where it may have come from, if you're aware of that. Could have been from childhood. It might be where it comes from a past life. What we're doing is we're bringing consciousness to the program. Breathe into it. Just breathe your consciousness into the program. It's a skill which takes time to learn. Because most of the time our ego wants to avoid feeling negative emotions. I was feeling grief through the process of it. Grief for what's gone on. And let yourself open yourself to all aspects of the feelings that are within you. Keep breathing through your mouth, it keeps you in the body. Breathing through the nose keeps us in our head. Become aware of the ego's attachment to whatever this program is. Any feelings of being bad for having this program. Because that's what holds it in. And no judgment your ego has of having this program. For example, I should be more evolved, I shouldn't have this anymore. It also binds these programs to us. And the more you can open to the program, the more it can integrate and heal. Keep breathing into it, maximize, bringing consciousness to it. And when you feel that you have brought maximum consciousness to the program, it's open your eyes and we're going to do this command code together from the Divine Healing Manual. So you, as the spark of the divine, as the spark of the divine, as the spark of God, are going to command this program to be dissolved, to be burnt away. So everyone turn on your microphones now. We're going to do this together. It's very powerful if you can hear each other. Okay. So we do the command code line by line. We just take our time, we pause, because we've got to allow each part to actually actuate. So we're going to work with the Ascended Master Saint Germain and his purple flame first. Okay. So when you say this, you must say as if you mean it. And for those of you who are parents, you know how you have to be speak with authority, others. The kids just ignore you. It's the same idea. You know, speak to the universe in a commanding tone. So here we go. I've got it in bite-sized chunks. We are Saint Germain.
We are
Saint Germain
Germain
to pour the purple flame
to
pour the
purple
purple
flame
through the aura and subtle bodies,
through the aura and subtle bodies,
to burn away all low frequency energies,
to burn away all low frequencies
and energies
that we have discovered,
that we have
discovered,
so that new higher level vibrations
so
that
that
new
high
level
vibrations
vibrations
can be accessed.
can be accessed.
Just pause there. So we've set up the space and we're just waiting for this to happen. Complete of the energy will be a little busy. What happens? Okay, it's done. Next line. Saint Germain and higher self,
Saint Germain and higher self,
please burn out in one go.
Please
burn out in one go.
100% the core issue
100%
core issues
through all levels and dimensions.
through
all levels and dimensions.
Little pause there. Just let that happen. So you allow one thing to happen at a time in divine healing. Otherwise it gets a bit confusing. Okay. 100% the original cause through all levels and dimensions.
100 the original cause
through all
levels and dimensions.
100% the source of its power through all levels and dimensions.
100%
source
of
power
power through all levels and dimensions.
100% all energy attached through all levels and dimensions.
100%
100% of energy
through all levels and dimensions.
100% all of its effects through all levels and dimensions.
100%
100 of all its effects through all levels and
dimensions.
Do a bit shift. Ooh, I'm feeling a bit shivery. Okay. Something definitely shifted out of me. I'm going to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Gratitude opens the heart to source. It bypasses all the ego resistance and allows grace and good things to come to you. Just feel the shift. 80% of a lot of what we process karmically comes from past lives. So that they have great influence. Unresolved issues in past lives where our soul had another personality feed into this life for us to work through. Because it's in one lifetime, it's not possible to work through all the things the soul wants to get through on Earth. On average, you come here to it about 42 to 72 times. Okay, so a lot of stuff gets passed down many lifetimes. So we're going to use a variation on this past life death chart. Okay, so I want you to, with your intention, it's all about intention, divine healing, is become aware of any past lives which have triggered any negative emotions that have come up in you as we were focusing on creating unity and love and whatever else we decided upon on it. I can feel the grief of a past life where the ascension process didn't go so well on the planet where I was a light worker there. So I'm just being with that. And you may see streams of energy. You may be aware of energy going, I've got 3 past lives actually coming up. You may be aware of multiple lives which triggered the feeling in you, whatever that is, the negative emotion. Those negative emotions are gateways into becoming clearer and more conscious. So just your very awareness of those past lives is enough to put the energy in what we call the divine healing stack, so that the higher self knows what you want to work with. It's all about intention, divine healing. And it was designed, brought down from the higher dimensions from source and many different dimensional levels to help clear our egos, peel our ego onion, so we could get home in consciousness to source. So breathe into those past lives. You may sense them, you may see them. So we can use a variation on this process, which is going to change one word. We're not going to say traumatic deaths, we're going to say traumatic lifetimes. Okay. So you can open your eyes and microphones on or repeat after me. Higher self, please clear, heal, and integrate
Higher self,
Higher self,
Please
heal,
clear,
heal,
heal, and integrate
all these files and memories,
all these files and memories,
memories,
including all cellular memories,
including all
including all
cellular
memories,
memories,
the DNA and the subatomic levels,
the
DNA
DNA and
and atomic
atomic levels.
levels.
I'm now ready to heal all traumatic lifetimes
I am
Now ready to heal all traumatic
traumatic
lifetimes
at all levels and dimensions,
At all
At
levels.
all levels
levels
and
and
dimensions,
all time frames,
all
all
time
time
frames,
frames,
reality,
reality and the
and
universes.
universe.
I command that any soul fragments
I
command
command
all
any soul
soul fragments
held with these memories
held with these memories
and are returned to me
are now
are now
returned
returned to me
fully,
fully,
as appropriate.
whole and intact.
fully and intact
as appropriate.
as
I
appropriate.
welcome these soul fragments back.
Appropriate.
I
I
welcome
welcome
these
these
soul
soul
fragments
fragments
Soul
back.
fragments back
Okay, so there's
as
a little
appropriate.
pause there, let it integrate. I command that the whole holographic matrix
I command that the whole
Whole
holographic
holographic
matrix
matrix
be repaired through all layers and levels
be
Be
through all
repaired through all layers
levels
levels
and layer levels,
then brought into full alignment
and then be
and
brought
then
into
into
full
the
alignment,
into the line, all full
integration
alignment,
and balance
integration and balance,
balance,
to allow for wholeness to emerge.
to
allow for wholeness
emerge.
to
to
emerge.
emerge.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Embrace.
Thank you. Embrace the shift.
I really want to yawn. You might want to yawn. Oh, it's energy shift. It's quite a shift we've gone through there. And now what we're going to do is we need to integrate it. We made all these shifts. So when we do these deep clearing charts, the 26 charts in Divine Healing, they run according to the alphabet. But once we have done a big shift like that, we need to integrate that, because as we're gently and gracefully dismantling the ego, we need to do it in a way that's going to keep its integrity, well, mostly, except for the programs we don't want anymore, so that you can stay stable and function. So energetic nutrition is the pure frequency. We're going to choose eat one of these each to infuse into your system, which bypasses the conscious mind and will help integrate all the shifts that we've been through. So I want you just to pick a letter A, B, C, or D, whatever comes in your head. I got B. So I'm going to let the essential fatty acids, the frequency of it, because every substance has a particular frequency. If you got A, pick a number 1 to 25 here. Notice what it is. Write it down if you want. But again, just your intention saying, well, I'm going to put that in the Divine Healing stack will make it happen. Even if you forget what it was a few seconds later, it'll still happen. Okay. You have another minute for the A's and B's to pick what they want, and then we go down to C and D. Okay, those who got C or D, for C, pick a number 1 to 21. If you got D, pick a number 1 to 26. Whatever number comes in your head will be the higher self telling you what it is. And you don't have to be able to pronounce them or know what they do. Now we're going to say together, top the command code. So microphone's on here, and say this command code together. Okay, so your nutrition that you selected is in the Divine Healing stack. So your higher self is just going to infuse it in your system in the optimal manner. So repeat after me. Higher self, please encode the nutrient.
Yourself.
Encode this nutrient in the perfect balance.
The perfect balance.
Perfect balance.
That is required and
That
clear.
is required
clear
and
and
aligned
with
all
maximum
absorption,
utilization,
and utilization.
Assimilation, absorption.
Close your eyes and
utilization.
feel the frequency coming. You might feel a waveform coming in. Mine's coming through my crown chakra. It's making my body shake.
Feel this.
I'm starting to see my vision's gone a bit clearer. So it's integrating, it's helping integrate all the clearing I just did. So my system moves to a new state when we do that. Okay. It's okay to yawn. I already want to yawn after that. It really shifted something. Excuse me. Okay. And stop sharing now. Okay, so we'll just let that integrate. So I'd like to hear from some of you guys how you felt, how you found the process. It just helps the guys who are watching later get a grip on what's going on. Wants to share how that was. Because we're only halfway through, we've got another process to do as well, but we need a bit of time to integrate this before we do the next process. Zana.
So still sometimes when I do some really deep clearing, I pretty much just fall asleep to the whole thing. And I found this time too that like there was just a massive wave of something coming through, and I just felt like I was kind of checking out.
Okay, thank you. Who else would like to share their experience? You can put it on the chat as well if you like. Okay, Suzanne.
So I did lots of clearing, so lots of yawning and burping, and that last part with you said choose a nutrient, that really hit me in the throat, and it took a while for that feeling to move between my throat and my heart chakra and the higher heart. Yeah, felt like that had been missing and that it really needed to be in there. And then I felt it expand then. So at one point I felt, I don't know, it was like having a halo, and then that energy went around my whole body so that I could feel everything, like I was feeling the energy of all the cells, all the energy everywhere. So it was lovely. Thank you.
Take care. Anyone else want to share how that was? Maria?
I always seem to see with my eyes closed those beautiful lights, and it was like purple, indigo, of violet, golden and orange this time. And when I was taking in my nutrient, I really felt something coming through going down through my throat to my stomach. Physically.
Yeah, it's asking you shall receive. You are the creator commanding this to happen, to wake yourself up. That's what you're actually doing here.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else want to share how that was? Guys who are not on the video, you can type in the chat and I'll read it out if you want. Be good to hear from you. Lavinia, you usually have something to say. So.
Oh, well, I'm feeling very quiet, but I also experienced the colours, very intense colours. Mine was like a violety blue to an intense bright blue, sort of electric blue.
Yeah.
And that was lovely.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? Oh, Maria.
May I ask Nicolas, what are really those colors? Is it a connection with the spirit, or?
It's basically it's higher self communicating with you, and you're actually seeing them in the pineal gland, because that accesses the astral plane. And basically, the pineal gland is actually an eye, looks like a physical eye, so you're seeing multidimensionally. So it's multidimensional communication coming in. So you literally are seeing the color in your brain energetically.
Yeah, because the last few months I've been seeing also mainly violet color with my eyes opened in my bedroom before going to sleep.
Yeah, well, you're seeing high dimensionally when you start seeing that. Okay, that's what's going on.
Thank you.
Yeah. Vicky said, lots of yawning and eye streaming throughout the whole webinar. I felt the nutrient coming in through my face and hands. Exclamation mark. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? We'll do the next bit. Okay, we're going to do the next bit now. So let me just share the screen here. Get back to this. Need to scroll down to the next part. So I'll explain a little bit about divine healing, seeing where we're using it. Basically, it's a gift from Source. It's a multidimensional healing system, and its purpose is to open to grace. Grace is a frequency from Source, Grace Elohim, which basically unlocks everything in your life. And it's a very simple and quick and profound set of healing tools which you can use on yourself and others. And the idea is to clear our ego onion, the big red onion I showed you initially, and reconnect the spirit at all levels. It's about, so we can come into our power, take charge, which is what, as I was saying at the very beginning, we need to do to change the world. Collectively take charge of ourselves and of the world. And it leads to very high states of consciousness, even enlightenment, if you really work on it. So what we're doing here is that we are becoming aware of all the darkness or mud in life. And we're acknowledging that the dark and the lotuses or the light are one and the same thing, which is what we have going on in the world at the moment. So by bringing consciousness to all the negative emotion that might have come up because we're focusing on creating unity and love, it brings up out of the ego, it flushes out all its low frequency programs. And then we felt it all, then through those command codes, because we cleared in energy interference, low frequency programs, past lives, and we infuse nutrition, we transform the mud, the darkness in us, into light, into lotuses, beautiful things. And that's how we transform the world. So effectively, the whole world's going through a big splash through the mud, because all the mud's coming up, all the darkness is coming up to create light. Okay, it's on a grand scale, never seen before. That's what's actually happening. So it's just a mirror for our own internal darkness that we all carry as humans, or souls having this human experience, being as separate from God as possible. So, in coming to these bodies, these three primary separation programs that we carry. When we're born, we pop out of our mothers and onto earth. We feel abandoned by God. We feel unworthy to be loved by God, and we don't trust God. And that creates, in a unique manner, the ego structure for each human being. And so when these programs trigger, they're painful. So what do people do? Most people avoid it. They don't want to feel their feelings. They numb out, they have addictive programming, they act out. When you can no longer do that, or you become spiritually aware, people judge the programs, feel bad about them. Most people do that. But we're doing something different. We're following the third path. We're bringing feeling consciousness to it so we can resonate and own it. And bringing feeling consciousness into the body is the key for enlightenment, key for rising in consciousness, key to manifesting whatever you desire, manifesting a better world especially. And that's what we're doing. So the key to manifestation of anything is this. This is our lower self, energy bodies, physical body, filled with emotional separation that comes out of our soul contract. This is the higher self, which is permanent. This part is impermanent because our physical bodies eventually die, or in the ascension process they go to light. And we're connected to the higher self, which is this is the bit here that's been helping us this whole session. This is Antakarana. So our job is to clear the lower self, the impermanent personality. And what that will then do is allow, as we rise in frequency, the Antakarana to open up and unconditional love comes in, which means we just accept all our programs and that's how they dissolve faster. As we get clearer, and the more love that comes in, the more clearing we do, the bigger the Antakarana becomes and the more love that comes in. To the point that it's at maximum opening, the Antakarana, so we're very connected to the higher self. And a huge amount of unconditional love is coming in, and it is dissolving. It's dissolved the ego, it surrenders. So once you start getting to this stage, or even earlier at this stage, what's happening is that the power of the higher self is coming through, and it is coming out into the matrix through a clearer ego construct to manifest what you truly desire. This is the key to manifestation. So the clearer you are emotionally, the greater the capability to manifest. So you become, at this stage here, completely surrendered to the will, what we call the spiritual signature of the higher self, where it wants to go. And you become the walking, talking expression of your soul. And when you surrender this way, this higher frequency, high conscious energy coming through you will manifest lots of great stuff in your life. So you no longer have to struggle with the ego and work it out. This is where the ego has surrendered. So the ego becomes a vehicle for higher consciousness to deliver its gift of service, to create unity on earth, or whatever. So the key to manifestation of anything is to dissolve the ego, which is why we have divine healing, or whatever other therapies you might want to, you're into for healing things. So the key to ongoing abundance or creating good things in life is to move from the path of the little ego, which is this path of suffering, where it thinks it knows what it's doing because it's trying to stay separate from God. And divine healing shifts you to this darker line, which is following the spiritual signature. Basically what it's doing here is it's helping us converge on this darker line, because in each moment there's one right action which opens the heart the most. And if we follow that path, we're following the spiritual signature, we're converging gradually on it, then life flows and more things manifest for us. Good stuff manifests because we've surrendered into the vastness of spirit. And so that's our journey, to leave behind the path of suffering of the ego and move to the path of bliss of the spiritual signature. And that's how abundance flows. That's how we create a better world. Because we're coming from a place of love, we will know the next right action. Like when I was setting these webinars up to promote the divine healing training, 3 months ago, they just said to me, okay, time for another one of these manifest unity ones. So I just followed the flow. I just follow my higher self. It just guides me what I should do. So I don't know what's going to happen a lot of the time. So this is the most important diagram for you. And this is how you create a better life, full stop, let alone create unity in the world. And if we all followed this, the world will be unified because we'd be much more connected to spirit. Any questions on that so far? Let's just explain the process and what we're doing. You can put the questions online or just ask me, whatever, on the chat. No, I'll continue then. Okay. So we're going to move on to the second part of the process of manifestation now. Just got to see if this thing will work. Okay, so we don't need this diagram anymore. Well, actually, let me just check, maybe we do. Okay, no, we don't. So the second part of the manifestation is a gratitude meditation, which you do at sunset. And again, I'll put on the YouTube description how you work out sunset for where you are very accurately. So this is different to the first one, which was like being very specific on how it would feel to create unity on earth and love on earth, in this case, or whatever your manifestation is. In this case, we are going to do the same type of breathing process of 3 dots of approximately 7 minutes. In this case, we'll make it shorter so you have the experience of it. And we're going to feel gratitude for whatever is the most important thing that you've been grateful for in recently. And we're going to send the gratitude from the base chakra up to the crown to clear it. Then the second third of the process out from the crown to oneness, all that is. And then we're going to make a sound of God. We're going to use Om for the first 2. And then we're going to use Shalom for the last one, which is again setting it from base to crown to oneness. And we're going to open up a deep connection to source. And that opens a pathway through the ego to allow for good things to come. You don't need to focus on what that would be, just be open to whatever happens. Okay. All right, so everyone close your eyes, and if you could have your microphones on, everybody, this is quite good, this one, it's quite resonant. So I want you to first focus on what you're most grateful for. Close your eyes and feel that gratitude. It could be a little thing. It doesn't have to have anything to do with what you manifested in the morning. I'm going to make a time shift to sunset for wherever you are. Mother, Father God, we command a time shift to sunset. This now time for location of each individual on this live video webinar and for those who watch it later. So energy gets projected to the shift from light to dark, which is the most powerful time to do gratitude. And now we're going to do the Om, and we're going to shift the energy of the gratitude from your base to your crown. Second, third, we're going from base to crown out to oneness with gratitude for whatever that you're grateful for. Now we're going to go to Shalom, same thing, base to crown to oneness, being grateful for whatever. you've chosen. Shalom.
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 Shalom. Shalom. Just let it go. Relax. Just feel the expansion. Feel the connection, the oneness. What are your? Oh, quite strong. A drink. I feel very expanded from that. How are you guys feeling from that? You can put it in the chat as well if you want. Maria.
Done some divine healings before, but now I'm really beginning to realize the power of it. It's amazing, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Joel said a mix of grounded and connected to all. Suzanne.
Yeah, same as Joel, really grounded and connected. I could see as a whole torus field of energy all around, and then it just kept spinning, so that there was no disconnection anywhere, just energy constantly moving and lots of energy moving in my head.
Yeah.
It's good to feel really connected to everything.
Yeah. Well, Nadi's asked the question, am I going to send this webinar? Yeah, we'll send you a video in the next couple of days. Once I've loaded it on YouTube, I'll send you a link by email so you can watch it again, because I'll have the same effect. Okay, thanks, Suzanne. Anyone else want to share how that was? On the chat or Donna?
So it feels like there's a very concentrated amount of energy that is moving today. I don't know, I feel things just seem really concentrated, like really, like it's kind of like stuff is coming to a head maybe. I felt it earlier today too, and just this the meditation that we've done today, I feel it very powerful today.
Yeah, the energy is very intense today. A lot of people notice it's very, very strong. It's like we're going to break through some level of consciousness. It's very intense, very, very light. A lot of light in the earth at the moment. That's how it feels. It's almost like it's super real. It's the feeling I've had today. It's definitely ascension energy is happening. Oh yes, Suzanne said it feels very creative. Yeah. Anyone else want to share how that was? Patricia?
It felt very cleansing. Well, I need to.
Okay, hear you.
There, I'm unmuted. It felt very cleansing, and then just now I felt like I was like someone was holding me, just comforting and close, and I just felt connected to everyone here too. But I just felt the feeling of just feeling safe, I guess it was.
Yeah. I feel the hand of God is on earth, guiding us through this ascension process. That's what the team are telling me. Literally, the hand of God is here, guiding us through the last phases to shift to the next level of existence. That's what's going on. And we just witnessed this through a pretty amazing time, because these are the end times. It's where everything comes out to be absorbed back to light. Nadia said it's a very high frequency, lots of exclamation marks. It's so intense and powerful. Much gratitude to all. Okay. Anyone else want to share on the chat? Any comments? So I will put all the instructions, I'll put all the instructions for finding the timing for light and dark in the reference for the book, if you want to read about the book. But I've taught you the essential process. The main thing is sunrise or as close as possible in the morning for manifestation, sunset for gratitude, and I'll put the command code for shifting the time as well, because you are God, so you can command anything you want, and if you believe it and have clear intention, it'll happen. Okay, and if you're going to manifest something, do 5 or 6 times consistently, not maybe every day if you don't have time, but focus on something for a week or two to build up the manifestation energy in the morning. That's how you can create things which, if it's in divine order, it'll eventually turn up. It's very important to have no attachment to the outcome or thinking how it should happen, because that gets in the way. That's the ego getting in the way. It's about manifesting it and letting it go and trusting. Okay, and the gratitude can be a gratitude for, I usually use gratitude, whatever I'm most grateful for in the moment. So I'm grateful to go to teacher training next week with a good number of people. So I was very grateful for that. So it's whatever comes up. Okay. So just to finish off, the key is to clear the ego. So in order for this process to be more powerful, to manifest whatever you desire, okay, it's absolute key. So if you're interested in learning how to do that, okay, the divinehealingtraining.com, you can find out more information about the training. It's 4 days. The next one runs on Zoom, 17th to 20th of June. 8 hours on Zoom, 4 1.5-hour slots with breaks and tea breaks or coffee breaks and meal breaks. Okay. 12:30 UK starts, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, but it runs out till 9:30 at night in Eastern Europe. So we do this to cover the Western Hemisphere, okay? And basically what you get is that this is the manual for Divine Healing 1, Channel from Source by Almira and colleagues of ours. We spend 4 days in a very powerful healing intensive, about 6 contact hours per day, okay, excluding breaks. And these are all the different charts we do. We did man frequency programs, nutrition, past life, clearing, and interference energies here. But we basically go through following the spiritual signature, all these charts, and you get a massive healing for 4 days. come out really squeaky clean. Plus you learn how to actually do the work. And so what I do is I teach you each chart, explain the theory of each chart. You've seen some of the charts already. And then I demonstrate if it's a complex chart. Then you practice on each other in breakout rooms in Zoom, give and receive the treatment. We give feedback, then we move to the next chart, which is logical for the group. So basically we work our way through, it's different each time, all these charts. So you learn how to do it on yourself, and you learn how to do it on other people. So it's a very powerful self-healing tool, but very powerful as a therapy as well. And it can be done online on Zoom, and obviously in person. And so it's a gift from Source to get us home in consciousness, to dissolve the ego, to get back to God, basically. That's what it's for. Okay. So this is what we do during the training. And you get to meet some pretty good people, meet people on it, and you get to transform quite radically. So, any questions or comments? Maria?
I've been wondering, when you then, after the training, Nicolas, are working on yourself first, how do you pick up whether you're working on angels and nutrition or something else? Is it a conscious process, or?
The process is where I teach you number mapping, where you align to the higher self and you ask the higher self, because some charts might have 70 choices. So I teach you, we align you at the beginning. I aligned you guys before we started, okay, to the higher self. And so you just open the mind, you just open up your consciousness, and a number like 39 will drop on your head, and that'll be the higher self telling, go to number 39 on that page. So we align you to higher consciousness, and it will guide you. Okay, that's the key to the whole thing, following the spiritual signature. You don't have to work anything out. You just got to open and trust the higher self to guide you, so you can dissolve and peel your ego onion in the right order for you. And everyone has their own unique journey in the way they do that. So you don't have to work anything out. You just got to open and trust.
My number 4 coming up again. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else got any other questions before we finish? No? Oh yeah, I forgot to say one more thing. Diagram. Yeah. Okay, so that's when it's on. And if you want to come, the deposit's £175, and the full fee, which includes the deposit, is £520, or $230 US, or $690 US. It's $230 US for the deposit, $690 US for the full fee. So that's at divinehealingtraining.com if you feel the urge to come. Okay, it's one of my favorite things to teach after soul contract reading. So, okay, so there's no further questions or comments.
Thank you so much. That was great.
Well, thank you all for coming and really creating a lovely experience for everybody. And
can I just add one last thing that I saw that's just popped into my head?
What's that?
And you were saying bring in what you want to see in the world or want to be. Is everybody really looking at each other properly?
Yeah.
You know how people don't often get eye contact and see each other. It's just that connection really came through. I forgot to share that. I felt like it was important.
What is? We just see each other fully.
Yeah. So thank you. That was great.
See another face of God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for your generosity, Nicolas.
Thank you everyone for stepping up and participating. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.